It's top of the hour, and it's time for Making a Difference. I'm your host, CJ Metcalfe. On this program, I like to interview people in our community that are making a difference in other people's lives. It is my pleasure to bring you information like that. This program is brought to you by the Gulf Theater at the Military Heritage Museum. They have like one or two shows left, and then that's it. So, if I think those are sold out. So if there's something you want to do, you can probably get on a wait list. But other than that, next season, gang, and the new schedule should be coming out in June. Okay, today, I'm really excited to bring this show to you. We are having the gentlemen that are going to be opening up a farmer's market on the east side of Punta Gorda, there at Martin Luther King Drive and East Virginia Street in Bailey Brothers Park. And this flea market, they're going to have all kinds of things, much like what they have down in the downtown market of Punta Gorda, only then some. They're going to have the food trucks there. They'll have music, entertainment, poetry. They're getting into the arts of it, and certainly hope that there's a lot of Black culture that is on display here so that the rest of us can enjoy and buy some of this. So this is an opportunity for craftsmen to really show their skills and entrepreneurs to really jump in on it and get in on this ground floor program. So at this time, I would like to bring in here, meet James and Edward. I lost my notes. James and Charlie. Ew, I did bad. It's James Abraham and Charlie Edwards, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, see, I should have gone fishing for that note that I lost. Gentlemen, what was your inspiration for opening up a flea market like this?
Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, we looked around the area and we just felt that it should be something there. There's absolutely nothing.
I know.
And we just felt that it's a nice area and something should be there. So we
I
came up
agree
with
a
an idea.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we came up with
I
an
agree.
idea to open up a flea market.
So, have you guys been researching this to get the vendors lined up and things like that? I mean, that's quite an undertaking.
Yes, we have. So far, we've secured 10 vendors. Our business plan calls for starting out with 20. The
Okay.
vendors, you could get a weekly rate of $35 or a
Oh,
monthly rate that's 4 weeks for $100.
okay.
We'll open our doors on June the 17th. And as you mentioned, CJ, we'll have authors, poets, artists, and I'd like to announce a special guest. As you know, this is the Bailey Brothers Park.
Yes, it is.
A descendant of one of the Bailey brothers will be our guest of honor.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yes,
that's wonderful. Well, I'm tied in with the Military Heritage Museum and the P-51 club that we have there. And I mean, I'm somewhat versed, a little versed, I should say, on the Bailey brothers. They have quite a history here in Punta Gorda. I believe there was seven of them, I think, right? Seven
yes.
Bailey brothers, and I remember they were known as the Fighting Bailey brothers. And one of them, I when 2 years ago at the air show, they had the red tail, the Tuskegee Airmen, and they
Yes.
had a big
Remember that.
display. It was a semi with a movie on it up at that mall up there. Oh, where Dillard's is. Dillard's and Penny's up there in Port Charlotte, and you could go in and watch the movie. And if you did that, then we got the dog tags and everything from the Tuskegee Airmen. And then also at the museum we have a very nice display about the Tuskegee Airmen, and I
Mhm.
think they got into the Bailey brothers there. So therefore the naming of this park. And here you two, this park has sat there unused, uneventful, and the two of you have brainstormed this together to come up with a wonderful, wonderful venue to use this park by. And the hours that you're going, thank you. that that show that semi was up there at the Port Charlotte Town Square. My producer just kind of threw that up there to remind me. But to be able to create some energy in this park and to draw people to it, to make good use of it, because it's a beautiful park. And I can foresee a lot of things coming down the road because of your two innovation in starting this farmers market. I mean, I would only hope that music groups would come in there and continue to play, and that along with them the creative artists who do poetry. And I mean, oh yeah, how wonderful would that be, right? So tell me, what are some of the vendors that are going to be there? Is it going to be all fruits and vegetables, or is it going to be some crafts?
Right now, we've secured several craftsmen, three artists, and three people who've published books.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're at 10 and we're looking for 20. We'd like to try to establish some sort of farm to market operation where one of the local organic produce people would like to set up a stall. One of the reasons Charles and I organized this, CJ, is that there's only one store in all of the East Side. And so if you want good food, some whole lettuce or whatever, or good bread, you have to find some way to get down to 41 to find a Publix.
uh,
And so what we want to do is bring the services of good food to the middle of that community. But the other thing I'd like to point out is this is not a black market.
No.
It's a market located in the black community. For years, people have said, where are the black people when there's been some sort of public meeting? I figure if you want to find the black people, let's hold an event where black people live. And let's work on almost reverse integration
right,
and bring people into this community to see
right,
that they're people too.
Yeah.
And so
That's
what
for
we
sure.
hope is a lot
exactly.
more will
Yeah,
grow from this. What we try to
I
do,
agree. I
there's a
agree.
reason, there's a reason this is located on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah, I know. One thing that I know for sure, there have been, because I'm involved indirectly with city council, and I hear a lot of the things that are going on there. And one of the things they're wanting to do is to have the parade route. They have the Veterans Day parade, the 4th of July parade. They have all these different parades, and one of them is to keep the parades on the east side of town. Um, for the mere reason, I mean, it's 41 is an issue. And the current parade route crosses over 41. So, but I think there's the problem of the organizing space and the disbandment space, which is crucial. And also FDOT because Marion and Olympia are federal roadways, and to close them down is a big no-no. So, we would have to disband the parade somewhere over there where people, all those floats and everything can stop and undress so they're street legal. So, but that's okay. Hey, I think what you guys are doing is awesome. Sometime back, well, let's see, it was before March 29th. I don't know if you're familiar with Baylor's food truck. Oh, yeah, Baylor's. They make what they cater to is Southern cooking, wholesome soul food.
Hmm.
And she is so proud of her cornbread and her greens. And yes, they are good. And her husband, Jimmy, oh, he says, you got to try my slow cooked barbecue pork ribs. And they, they fall off the bone. They
Oh,
literally fall off the bone.
boy.
They are so good. It just those two, I had so much. I call her Lou, but it's Luana, I believe is her name, and Jimmy, Luana and Jimmy Baylor, and their food truck is beautiful. So I would like to see them at your event in June because I'll come and buy from them. Their food's great, you
Well,
know.
let's make that promise. We'll bring him and we'll see you there then.
Oh well, you would anyway.
Okay, done deal.
I'm one of those that hangs out at I like to go for the crafty things when like downtown Punta Gorda in the city marketplace when they have the big craft fairs down there
Yeah.
with all the arts and everything. Yeah, I'm a big guru on that. I like to go there. So tell me about some of the art vendors that are going to that have signed up to be there. What are they representing? Is it pottery? Is it jewelry?
It's a
Pins?
mix. It's a mix. We have John Christina. He's known as Dito, who specializes in the plastic arts, be it sculptor, painting, and so he'll have a strong display. Rod Becklin, who specializes in marine art, seagulls, fish, he'll be there as well.
I'm glad you
Um,
clarified that because I'm married to a United States Marine.
oh, no,
Oh,
I've never seen pretty marine art, so no, none of that. None of that. And they'll take offense if I say they're arty. So let's let
yeah.
that
Yeah.
go. We'll also have my wife sells jewelry. Um, Harding Bailey. He's the Bailey brothers' son who'll be coming over. His wife designs with glass, and she'll have a
Ooh,
display with some of her glass.
Isn't that wonderful?
Mike Hamons, who incidentally happens to be our lawyer, will also be performing. Jaha Cummings, who represents that part of town on the city council, will be one of our keynote speakers. We plan on, CJ, making this more than a market. There's nothing there now. What we want to do is create a crossroads, a community center place. And so from 2 to 6, when we're open, we'll be consistently showing videos, playing music, having poetry readings, dramatic presentations, and other things to draw people beyond the good food, the crafts, and the vendors that you come to expect at a free market.
True.
well, it's almost kind of like a festival.
It is.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
why we call
Yes.
it. I spent some time working on a newspaper down on Nevis in the Caribbean. And on Friday, everybody would stop working at about 2 o'clock and they would call it liming, Liming. And when you're liming, you sit back, you drink your favorite beverage, and they don't stop until about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
And so we purposely chose Friday because there's a tradition of that's when you let your hair down and you have your happy hour. And so come join us at our happy hour.
Right.
If you go to a bar, it's 4 to 7. Our happy hour is 2 to 6.
well,
Can't miss that.
you've said that, and I was going to ask you. I saw in my notes that somebody had stated that it was going to be from 3 until 8 p.m. So has that changed?
No,
Yes.
what that represents is us setting up as well.
Oh, okay.
We believe in being good stewards. And if you notice, we've got 2 hours tacked on at the end where we're going to police that park to make it look just the way it did when we leave. But as
Okay.
far as being open to the public, our public hours are 2 to 6.
Right.
Well, and that is nice also because that gives there are some people that are working right now. I know you'd never believe that when you go to the fast food restaurants who
Yeah.
say that they can't get anybody to work, but there are people who are working right now, and this gives them, an opportunity to get off work and come and enjoy a little bit of the festivities before you close. Are
Well,
you
you
going to
mentioned
shoo them out at 6 o'clock
it
and say go
depends.
home?
No, it
Depends.
depends. Depends
Yes.
on how well they're doing. Now, one
Right.
thing I want to mention about what you just said about people. Over on the east side, there are a lot of people like the Bailers who are great cooks, sweet potato pie, that sort of stuff. But
Oh
they
yes.
don't have a venue.
None whatsoever.
And so what we're offering them is a cheap venue where they could share their good stuff with the community.
Yum,
Yes.
yum,
I
yum.
think I'm drawing her in.
Oh, well, I'll tell you something else that Lavina makes. She makes an absolute killer peach cobbler. Oh my
I,
God.
I got bad news for you. My mom's is better.
Okay. Hey guys, there you go. There you go. There's another thing you can do is have a peach cobbler cook off.
You know, you took the words out of my mouth because what we plan on doing is having things happen.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you something, and this is what I mean by this. When I was in school, I loved to read and write, but all the energy was directed toward the football team and the athletes. What I want to do is honor local scholars. You know, they could read their English lit essays during Martin Luther King essay contest. They could come read them, and I want these little kids to get the pride of having people clap because they
Yes.
used their brain and they wrote something.
Yes.
So yes, I'm looking at this being a venue for our community.
Right. And it's for everyone.
Yes. Yes.
That's the whole key.
Yes.
Everyone, no matter who you are or what you're doing, it's for everyone.
Well,
I
my
can't stress that enough because too many people think that because of where it is, it's geared to black people and it's for black people. But quite the opposite. We
It's not.
really want to do something to bridge this gap that exists in this community. Where if you go downtown, you could go all day without seeing a black face.
Correct.
And I think what we need to do is find a way to get people comfortable with each other.
So they will be able to mingle. That's the whole key, too.
have you guys been in touch with how are you getting the word out about your market
Well,
going on?
we've been soft pedaling it until we got the go from the city. The city
Gotcha.
said, okay, Wednesday last week, you have the honor of being the first radio broadcast where we discuss this.
Correct.
We've been
Yay!
we've been fortunate enough to have a story in the Sun and on one of the news stations, but we're going to start promoting this heavily. The final detail for me was nailing down Harding Bailey, and once I knew he was coming, now we're ready.
Oh, what? How wonderful is that? How wonderful because it's educational also, and uh, I'm just gonna mention. You guys know that there are grants available for things like this, but you got to be a 501(c)(3) and be in
May,
business for two
may I speak to
years.
that? May I speak to that? Almost every organization, almost every public organization sponsored or geared toward the minority community depends in parts on grants and goodwill. We'd like to show a new model in the community. When we were at the city council meeting, some of them were ready to give us that park to use for free.
Yes.
And I made a point of saying we're role models. We want to pay. And so, yes, it's great that those care grants are out there, but we want to teach people to exist on your own 2 feet.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
And if we don't make it, um, it's up to us. But no, we're
So
not
you're
going to
not
show up with our hands out asking for help.
right, right. Um, now I picked up somewhere also where some type of proceeds that you'll get from this, you're going to give back to the community. Where are the proceeds coming from? Hello, James is smiling.
I like that part because we do want to give back. Adam Smith, he wrote The Wealth of Nations about 200 years ago. He talked about something called the invisible hand. And what that is if a person does well that stays in that community, everybody around him does well. If I need my
Very
car
true.
fixed, somebody's got a job,
Yeah.
you know. And so, first of all, we're going to try to elevate the economic vitality just by being there.
True.
Second, we've identified key organizations such as New Operation Cooper Street, the Blanchard House Museum, and 5 black churches that have been a part of the community for a long time. And what we plan on doing is giving them a portion of the money we make.
Bravo. Bravo to you, gentlemen. Oh my goodness, time goes by so fast.
Right.
I, yeah, I could talk to you guys forever, and
Yeah,
loving every minute of it.
you're
But
charming. We could talk to you as long too.
Yes, we certainly can.
well, for those of you that are only that I say only, but are on the radio itself, we've been showing some pictures of Bailey's Park, and we've been showing the
We
faces of
appreciate it.
the 2 very handsome men that are behind this. And I'm going to go over some of the details real quickly again. They plan to start this up in the summer on June 17th, and the market will be open from 2 until 6 p.m. And it's called the Happy Hour Marketplace. What
Yes.
fun, right? That sounds
Yes.
like fun. And so, and they're going to have a Bailey's descendant there to talk to the people. And the park itself is just lovely, lots of sitting room and everything. So I encourage everybody, come on down on Friday, June 17th, and let's welcome these guys and their entrepreneurship with a great big crowd. Okay,
Yes.
gentlemen, thank you. And audience, I will see and talk to you next week.